What y'all know about manga, anime, webtoons? Well, guess what? These are a few of the terms that you are going to hear from my daughter, Assiyah. She will be on my upcoming episode of Real Reading Talk, giving us some insight into her reading world. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Reading Talk. And I am your most gracious host, Miss Seisha. And with Real Reading Talk, I discuss the real systemic issues that are at the very core, the very foundation as to why there are low levels of literacy in the Black community and the ways in which we can combat these issues together. All right, family. Well, guess what? I have an awesome guest on my show for today for you all. As I promised before, even though my apologies, I haven't been able to be consistent as I would have liked to have been with having guests for this second season of Real Reading Talk. However, I've had guests on a lot during this season, and this time I'm having a returning guest, which is my awesome, lovely, beautiful, brilliant daughter, Assiyah. So she is
Hi.
in the house. Yay! Yay! And I am just so excited because we are going to have a great conversation, y'all, about reading, all right? And her reading experiences, the types of books that she likes to read, and all of that good stuff. And of course, like I said before, one of the main reasons why I wanted to have guests on, in particular young people, is because that's the population really that has been suffering when it comes to the Black community is our young folks when it comes to reading. And what better way to help get our young people into reading is through having their own peers, people who are in their age group, talking about their reading experiences, and talking about, different things that they like to read, and just being honest about, hey, look, you have young people who may like to read certain books, but then there are times where they're like, you know what, I don't like to read. And to talk
Mhm.
about and explore as to why that is. But again, like I said, the goal is to encourage our young people to change the mindset, because if we do not have them change their mindsets, as the examples at being the adults, then they're going to grow up with that attitude, that disdain, that dislike for reading, or only equating reading with taking a test. And so, with all of that being said, I want to properly introduce my daughter, Asiya Abdullah Colvin, to you all. And I would love for her to go ahead and tell us a little bit about herself. Give everybody,
Um,
I gave everybody your whole government name. So, my
well,
fault.
obviously, as you said, my name is Asia Abdullah Colvin. I am 15 years old and I'm about to be a sophomore. And I like to read and draw and watch Netflix and just chill, I guess. And yeah, I really like to read comics and I like to just draw like anything for real. And yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a great start. I love it. Well, of course, now we're going to get dig a little bit more deeper into, what it is, your likes, your interests. Before we do
Hmm.
that, though, I wanted you to tell everybody what profession have you been thinking about pursuing? So, what career path have you been thinking about pursuing?
I haven't thought about many, but like one is like just being an artist, maybe like a traditional, or I was thinking of being a digital artist because there's a lot of like things you can do with digital art. Like it's so many like different parts of it and stuff. And obviously this it's 2022, everything is digital. So like that would be really good for my career and I feel like I would make money from being a digital artist, like depending on what I'm doing exactly or what I'm drawing.
That's a great idea. That is excellent. And, and look at that. You already had opened up, with your introduction. You said you love to draw. And so I was already thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, I know she's going to talk about, that being, a possible career path for you. And that's, a note to all of us parents out there when we are trying to get our children to start thinking about what career paths that they want to take. We always got to start with what they like and what they are doing, what they do very well. And I'm definitely here to attest to the fact that Assiyah can draw her behind off. Okay, I got a couple of artists in my, as far as in my children rather. I got Assiyah and my son Yusuf. They are the ones who can draw really well. Oh, and my daughter Sabria, Bree can draw too, as well. So, can you tell everybody, give some folks out there who may not know about digital art, can you give somebody just an example of what digital art looks like?
Mhm. Well, digital art, I guess, can look like very different, but like, okay, like for example, maybe like brand logos and stuff, can be examples of digital art, like when they have like just how they make it, like how they draw it, like, and it's obviously not on a piece of paper, it's digital, it's like on a computer or some type of tablet, or even digital art can be like cartoons when you think about it, because they're drawing the characters, making them move, all that. That's all digital. Like anime is just different cartoons and stuff. And there's yeah, it's a lot. And like probably even on maybe some book covers, like they probably do it digitally and maybe print it. I'm not sure, but I think that could be an example of digital art.
Wow, that's excellent. And I wanted you to do that again, like I said, because even though of course, all of those things that you mentioned, I mean,
Hmm.
majority of children and folks understand, like, oh, okay, cartoons, but they're not thinking, and honestly, I don't really think about it like that. But the cartoons that, that they're shown or whatever the case may
Hmm.
be, that's digital art, so right there. So that's, again, that's an example for young folks out there who love drawing, they love artwork. You can get into that field. And I would definitely recommend, too, making sure whatever it is that you want to pursue, look to see what is the salary. All right,
Hmm.
meaning how much you gonna get paid, because
Yeah.
that's very important. Yeah, did you ever, is that something that you ever researched in terms of digital artist salaries?
Yeah, I have. I honestly don't remember
Okay.
like the salary, but I have researched it.
Okay. All right. Great answer. Yeah. So that's what's up. So now, well, you already told, because my next question was going to be, what are some of your talents and hobbies? And you've already told us, about your drawing. Now let's let's segue a little bit, since you talked about reading. You said reading is
Mhm.
something that you do. So, what books have you read so far this summer?
I started reading the Attack on Titan manga, uh, the first part of the first season, and I have not finished the first book, but I'll be finishing it soon. And that's just like one book that I've read. And then I've read a lot of webtoons, which also like ties back to digital art, because a lot of the webtoons, well, all of them are digital art. When they're like drawing it, the characters and stuff. That's why it's called webtoons or whatever. It's like not physical, you know. And
Nice.
I've read plenty of those. I was just reading a webtoon called Everything is Fine. It's like a horror webtoon, and I think it's pretty good so far. And yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Hey y'all, this webtoon thing, I literally did not hear about that until my children start saying they're reading webtoons. I'm like, okay, what are webtoons? Of course, I know cartoons. First thing that come to my
Yeah.
mind is cartoon. So again, like Asia, described, it's like webtoons. So these are these cartoons that are on the web.
And this
Oh,
is the Attack on Titan manga that I've been reading. It's like the first part of the first season is 4 books, and yeah, it's really good.
what's the fascination with the manga? I had this when I interviewed Zaid, one of my former students that I helped prepare for kindergarten. And by the way, I saw him yesterday, and he was just so grateful. He was like, because I took some books up to his father's gym, is a sports, and he's a he's the owner of the gym where they teach martial arts. And Zayd was like, great book selection. And that's literally, those were some of the books that our organization, ABC Read, had donated
Mhm.
to the gym. And so I remember talking to him about that. So I want you to tell the people what's up with the manga. Help me.
Um, mangas are just like, well, okay, if you know what like animes are, they're like these Japanese type cartoon things, and then manga. Well, animes usually come from the manga, like the book series that's made first, and it's just a comic for like a Japanese comic, and basically they turn it into most of them get turned into animes, and it's just a comic. It's obviously a little different because it's read from right to left instead of left to right. Like this is what the cover looks like. Like you started from, it might be inverted, but you started from right to left basically. Like if you started it at the end, it would say stop. Like it's probably inverted, but
No,
it
no,
would
it's
say
not.
like
Mm-mm, no, because it's not
yeah,
live. Right. Yeah.
yeah,
What?
it would say like stop reading it. Like if you get obviously if they're in America or some other country where
Yeah.
you read from left to right, they're gonna let you know that you can't read it like that, and you have to start from right to left,
I
which is
see it.
similar to the Quran, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I see you just educate. Now, all this time, I did not know that. Now, I got these Attack on Titan books for you all. Y'all got other, manga books that I would definitely want you to tell the people about as well. I never knew that. That is like so dope. I wonder. So, okay, so let me ask you, because you said that the anime and the manga that started in Japan.
Yeah.
So, okay, is it that do they read like that in the Japanese language from right to left
I'm
as
not
well?
sure. Possibly.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
assuming if they make the comments like that, I'm sure they
Oh,
probably do.
well,
I don't know
because I'm
though.
like, wow, y'all.
I'm
I'm
not
like,
sure.
you total education. That is so dope, man. I love this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And then I like the fact too how you showed that book and they're just reminding people who are reading English, you know what I'm saying, and whatever other languages read from left to right, letting them know that hey, you're doing it the wrong way, right? You got to
Yeah.
flip to the other side. Wow, man, that is amazing. Oh my God. Okay, y'all. I'm tripping right now. I'm tripping because I'm just like I ain't know that. You know what I mean? And my kids are into these, Attack on Titans and all this
Mhm.
anime, these, all of that type of stuff. So I'm like, okay. So there. All right. Now let me ask you in terms of like with the webtoons, what made you get so fascinated with these webtoons though? Because it's like you said you read plenty of those. Like what makes it so inviting and it makes you like drawn to these webtoons?
I guess it's just like it's so many genres that you can find. Like it's so many different genres and stuff, like horror, romance, I guess, thriller, all that type of stuff. And then it's like also on Webtoon, it's not like it's one specific person obviously making all these. These are different people. You can make one yourself, like, and they can be from like different places. Some people will make it and it's like they're from the US, or somebody can make it and they're all the way in Korea or wherever. And like they're just it's so many different styles and stuff. And I started like the first webtoon I was gonna read was like in 2017, I think. It was like I can't remember what it was called, but I think it was like a horror webtoon. And then I kind of like got more into it, I guess like maybe like 2020 to now or whatever. And it's just like so many are so cool and like different. And then it's just the art styles change in different webtoons. And like you can see like the progress from the people who even made the webtoons. You can see their art progress throughout the years if they're continuing to update it. And then a lot of them are like uh Korean type comics because Webtoon have launched in Korea in 2004, but like worldwide it launched in 2014. So a lot of them are Korean. I think it's called manhwas or manhwas. I don't know how to say it, but it's like a Korean type comic. And then some of them are from just other places, I'm sure like Japan too, because like a lot of those comics and stuff originate from those areas. And then there are people like obviously in the US who make them and just all over the world. So
Wow, that is like I'm just being wild, y'all, because that's the really
yeah.
the first adjective that comes to my mind to describe what she's educating us on. Especially too, this is not my lane at all. I mean, my kids, they are into these, like I said, these manga, this anime, all of that, and it's just like, oh wow, I'm just now I do now what I would like to know, because you have mentioned in terms of it started in Korea in terms of the webtoons,
Hmm.
right? Or the
Yeah.
okay.
Webtoons.
Webtoons started in Korea. And then you got the manga in Japan. And you have a lot of there's definitely a lot of young black folks who black children and young people who are in your age group who gravitate to these stories. Now, would you like to see manga series and anime and webtoons that represent more black youth and you all's ideas? Would you like to see that? And then have you thought about writing and drawing a webtoon yourself?
Yeah, I definitely would like to see more black characters and stuff in the webtoons because or in mangas, whatever. Because I obviously it's not very like popular. Like it's not a lot of black people in it because these are people like from Korea and Japan and stuff. They most likely don't want to like add it in there. And obviously I have seen like animes and mangas and stuff with black people in it, but it's not very like it's very rare. And I have thought about making a webtoon. I would like to do that. I think that would be really cool. Just having a whole story and drawing out the characters and stuff. I think that would be
Hmm.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think that would be real nice. And that's the thing. It's like, it's not like there aren't any black people in Japan or Korea. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
exactly.
it's again, it's just about that, obviously, who you are around, who you're exposed to. And so I definitely would love to see, and I'm quite sure those who are listening, would love to see you, put your foot out there, you know what I'm saying, in that webtoon game or whatever, because we need to see that diversity, and then also this is what you're into. It's like, hey, you love drawing and then you write well. That would be great. And what type of now, if you did think about doing a webtoon, so what genre would you choose?
I've thought about like horror. I think horror is like a good genre. It's like really scary, and I
That's
like
your
a lot of
thing.
horror things. And then I've also thought about like royal type thing, like kind of fantasy and royal things like that with kings and queens and stuff. I've seen those, and it looks really cool. And like yeah, romance too. I think romance would be cool, or just like drama, like kind of like high school or like drama type things, but like mainly like horror and like royal fantasy stuff.
That's great. Well, I'm rooting for you, babe. I've been saying you need to go ahead and do that. So I hope you go ahead and get that under works like real fast, quick, in a hurry. So I wanted to ask you about, we still on the reading conversation, and we talked about before one of the books that you just finished called, let's tell everybody the
Oh,
title.
Guts.
Mm-hmm. And
Guts by
what's the
Raina
author's name?
Telgemeier. Raina Telgemeier, I think that's how you say her name.
Okay. Now tell everybody first of all about this book, and because she has a series of books, Raina Telgemeier, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so she has a series of books. So tell everybody about the book Guts, and what made you your interest in these particular books, because you literally, when I bought this book, Asi was like, okay, I want to read this, mommy, and she gobbled it up. I mean, it was like, I don't know, was it like an hour or two? I mean, it was like, it's one
Yeah.
of those, tell everybody about this book.
It's a book about a girl who has like I don't know if it's like I feel like it's like more of social anxiety, which makes her like get like feel like really sick. Like she's always having stomach aches and stuff, and she has like social anxiety, and then she's like scared of like just being sick and like throwing up and all that stuff. And I thought it was like really like I wanted to read it because one, because Raina Telgemeier is like a good author and she makes a lot of like comic type books, and I've read like her other ones like Smile and Sisters and Drama and stuff, and even like the Babysitters Club books because I think that's by her.
Oh, that's her.
And she
Oh,
makes, yeah, she makes like a lot of like those comic type books, and I feel like it's just like relatable to kids like in that age group because she was like younger. I don't know. She was like a little kid, probably like fourth or fifth grade. So some people like kids that might relate to that if they have like social anxiety and stuff. And then it was just kind of like her, I guess, like story or whatever, and then trying to get over it like in the end and stuff. And yeah.
wow. Oh my goodness. Could you now tell everybody about social anxiety? What's social anxiety for those who may, not be aware of what that is?
Well, it's just like obviously like anxiety, like just being scared of like maybe being around like a lot of people or scared to like talk in front of people and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Now, could you relate to that book in any way? Is
I guess I could because like talking in front of like class, like a class or something can be like hard and like awkward and stuff.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And, usually that's the thing. A lot of times you're going to read books that you could relate to. So if it's things that, you've experienced, or, if somebody's writing about a topic that you like, you know what? Wow, man, like that that sounds like, some things that I, have dealt with. Yeah, you typically, those are the types of books that you're going to gravitate to. Or, you tend to gravitate to books where, if you know that you may have issues with things, and this book is like a self-help book, so it's a book that's going to help you get over whatever fears that you have, so that right there, is a way for people to choose books that they are interested in, and helping to get them into reading. And one of the other things that I would like to mention is that how you like to read a lot of comic books. And that's something that Jim Trelease, he's the author of the book, The
Mhm.
Read Aloud Handbook. And one of the things that he talked about is that if you want to get children into reading books, comic books are a great place to start. And he said this back, I want to, man, that book was written, I want to say probably like in the early 80s or something like that. So, right there, and it's, 2022. And here it is. You have young people, they love these types of comic books, manga, anime stories, the webtoons, and all of that. So I'm telling my parents out there this for a reason. Like, don't feel like your child is dumbing themselves down. Don't feel like, okay, if they're not picking up the autobiography of Malcolm
Mhm.
X, that something's wrong. It's like they're not going to try to read the things that we as parents are trying to put on them. We have to allow them to read the books that they're interested in. Would you
Mhm.
agree with that, Asia?
Yeah, I definitely agree because one, kids, I feel like their attention span, like for those types of like books, is not like they won't be interested. Like obviously the books are interesting, but like for a kid, they can't read like autobiographies of people and just stuff like that. And then if they're reading comics, it's like easier because it has pictures in it, and I think kids like to see more visual stuff. So.
Mm. Yeah, and I like that. And I think honestly, it seems like it helps to build that creative, your creative mind, your creative genius. When you have
Mhm.
all of these cool pictures, and it's like when I look at these comic books and I just look at their facial expressions, I'm looking at all the different things to
Yeah.
do, I'm just like, wow. But and it you all that is what you all are into, and I think that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? So, and hey, yes, that is a part of reading. So don't get it twisted. Just because your child is not reading these elaborate chapter books that you feel like they should be reading. And my daughter, y'all here now, she just said, what grade are you in? Repeat to everybody. What grade you in? For
I'm going into the 10th grade.
Yeah. All right. So it's like bam, you know what I'm saying? Sophomore in high school, and she's reading webtoons, you know what I'm saying, and manga and all of that type of stuff. So, and I'm quite sure when you're reading books, especially like that, they have great storylines, right?
They do.
And that's the thing. It's like that's how an audience is captured. You have to have a great story to tell. So if you have a great story to tell and you don't have a whole lot of words on the page, but you are able to, tell from the beginning, middle, and the end, and you have it with clarity, and it's also something that's captivating, you got you a great book on your hands, and you're going to have folks getting that book, especially our young people. So we are
Hmm.
about to get ready to end the show, and I want to end it by you giving at least 2 to 3 tips. I would like 3 tips if you could think of three. Um,
Hmm.
3 ways in which to get young people, in particular in your age group too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Trying to get them into reading. What's some advice you would give, Asi?
Of course, like figure out what exactly they like. Like you can't just give them a random book and be like, here, read this. Like you have to get them something that they like and stuff that they'll probably relate to. Like, for example, how the Guts book can relate to people who maybe have social anxiety. And then you can get like books that are obviously for older children instead of ones that are for like little kids, and get stuff that has books where characters look like them too. So like for black children, like you can get them stuff that's shows other black kids so they can relate to the characters more, and so they won't always see what other people just put out. And you can just um just have them like experience like reading certain genres too, like see, like let them look at different genres, like not just one specific type, but like horror if they're not into that, and you can do like fantasy or drama or whatever they want. And it's just
That's
I don't know if I have a third tip.
That was third. That was number three. No, you did
Yeah,
good.
okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Because you said having them be able to pick, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
obviously starting off with what they like. And then you talked about getting books that represent, in particular, our black children. And then you talked
Hmm.
about also exposure to other genres too.
Yeah.
So and that's a good, and I'm glad you said that because again, it's a reminder for me, y'all. This again, real reading talk. I know I'm the type of person I can get stuck in whatever it is I like. It's hard for me to try things different.
Hmm.
Full disclosure. So it's like, and just like, I got to say this, my kids, now I'm going to tell you, I used to watch horror movies, okay? So I ain't into that no more. My kid, Mommy, I'm like, listen, I used to watch horror films, okay? Been there, done that. In my age group, I ain't trying to sit up and watch no Jason movies. I'm good. I did all that. But you know what I'm saying? But then when it comes to the anime though, they're like, come on, my, and I tried a little bit. I tried to watch it a little bit. Now, it's hard for a sister, y'all. It's hard. So, but hey, at least I can say I tried, right? Hey, so well,
Yeah.
that does it for us, you all. Asia, I just want to tell you, I am so proud of you. You did excellent. This was a very great conversation, and I thank you
Hmm.
for sharing with everybody. Giving us some insight into your reading world. What you're reading, and then being able to explain to everybody these different terms like manga and anime. I mean, for folks in my age group, some people they just went over their head. They're like, "What manga?" But you explained it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, so, and you all, I would recommend too doing some research. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you, Asi, just real quick. Can you tell everybody uh, the where you go to read your webtoons? What is the website for those who would like
Well,
to go?
the
You
app
know?
is literally called Webtoon.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm done.
But you can also like, I mean, that's not the only place where you can read comics. There are like so many different sites. I mean, like I honestly can't name any because I usually read off Webtoon. But like, if you want to read even mangas online, because you can read mangas online
Oh,
too,
okay.
and there are different apps for that.
Manga's
I
online. What's okay?
Yeah, but you can probably just research like where to read, like maybe free mangas online, or if you want to buy it, whatever. But
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you do so you have it to where you have your free version and then you have some where you pay for. Got it.
Hmm.
Okay. I love it. And it's that in that webtoon app now that they can download that for
Yeah, you
free.
can
And
download that for free.
okay. All
And you
right.
if there are some webtoons where you do have to pay coins, maybe either to watch the or to read the latest episodes, or you can or there are some that are like finished and you have to read, like you can read a certain amount for free, but you have to pay for the rest. But a lot of them are free. Like most of them are free.
Most of them are free.
And
Got
you
it.
just have to wait for the episodes to come out.
Okay, got you. I
Mhm.
got you. All right. Well that does it. She gave us great information again, like I said, into her reading world and some great tips for our young people out there in particular who are struggling with
Mhm.
reading. So again, we can give the advice, but the thing is that we have to implement what it is that we're given. So, with all that being said, you all, that concludes this episode, episode 29 of Reading Talk. And I am your most gracious host, Miss Seisha. And I have had the lovely, awesome guest, Miss Assiyah, on. And I thank you, Assiyah. And I hope everyone takes care. And please remember to keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. Thank you,
Peace.
Asi. Bye bye. Peace.
Bye.
Oh, y'all, that was an awesome episode. Oh my goodness. And I'm for real, I'm not just saying that just because that was my lovely daughter. So maybe that's part of the reason why. However, it really was a great episode because, again, like, you all heard, I was getting educated into a world that a lot of our young people are in when it comes to reading. These manga books are extremely popular. Okay, and so I am so glad and grateful that Asia was able to talk about and break down what the manga and the webtoon and the anime and given the history as far as like when it started and all of that. That is excellent, and it's also showing to our young people about research. So when you are into something, you definitely want to find out, well, what the background is on it, right? You know how that is when you're into something, you want to do more research and digging. And so I'm hoping that you all will definitely make sure that your young people listen to this episode, okay? And I want to do a couple of housekeeping things. I am a pre K through fourth grade reading tutor. And the name of my reading tutoring business is ABC Learn Tutoring. And if your child is struggling with comprehension or they're struggling with reading fluency, their sight words, or just even getting motivated to read, please go to my website, abclearntutoring.com. Click on that free reading assessment today to get them started. Also, I am the founder and executive director of ABC Read. Our mission is to develop and nurture a culture of literacy in Black and underserved communities. And we are doing that by giving away books that primarily focuses on Black history, culture, experiences, because as we know, representation matters. And we are in the business of helping to eradicate the high levels of illiteracy that plague our community here in Cleveland. And we also have awesome reading events as well. So you can check us out and the things that we've been doing at our website, abcread.org. And of course, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Reading is Freedom. This episode will be uploaded to my YouTube channel, Reading is Freedom, as well. And I want to end with a quote and also let you all know the book that I am currently reading. So let's do this. I'll do the book first. So the book that I've been reading, and well, actually I read it already. I've been rereading it. It's called Pray and Grow Rich: A Faith Choice. How to Achieve Massive Success Without Compromising Faith. And that's written by Halima de Oliveira. All right. And I've also been reading The Five Love Languages. I believe that author, his name is Gary Chapman. All right. That's an old school book as well. And now I finally want to leave with the quote. And the quote is coming from the book Pray and Grow Rich. Be an active participant in the life you are wanting to create. Be present and take hold of it. All right, y'all. Please ponder on that. Again, you have been listening to Real Reading Talk. I am your host, Miss Sasha. Please make sure that you subscribe to my podcast. It'll be on Anchor, Spotify, as well as Google Podcasts. Make sure you share it and give me some great ratings and reviews. You all take care and make sure that you please incorporate at least 30 minutes a day of reading in your life. All right.